Hey guys, hope y'all are doing great today. Welcome to part 7, the final part of this week's Food Forest Tours. Thanks for tuning in. This is the section where, as I mentioned in last week's video, I think it was, that I almost stepped on a bird. Well, I almost stepped on him twice again today, and he flew away as I was about a foot away from him and almost got a few heart attacks both times, but I'm doing good and my heart is healthy, thankfully. That tree back there is European plum, looking good. I'm not going to disturb it a third time, so I'm just going to do that from a distance. That pool is looking really good. You can see what I've been working on today. There's my shoveling gloves and digging out this trench right there that'll connect that pool to that pool right there, and then I'm going to be digging a trench to connect. There's a little smaller pool right there and continue it going that way. And yeah, that shovel is like the best shovel in the world in my opinion. I'll probably do another video on that soon, but yeah, it's amazing. It makes digging so easy compared to other shovels. But over to this tree. This apple tree is looking really healthy right here. Got some new growth coming out. Over to this mulberry right beside the pool. It's looking good. It's got these new 2 shoots coming up. I just added some of this soil around it to kind of make this mound higher just earlier today. So that's looking good. Been making these ridges right here, connecting the mounds of the fruit tree. We'll probably make that one a little bit bigger. It's pretty tiny right now. Over here to this apple tree is just going crazy. Tons of new growth coming out at the bottom, all up at the top too, growing really good so far. This apple tree didn't grow hardly at all last year, but it is already putting on some good growth, about 4 or 5 inches right there, and just getting going here at the top. Hopefully that'll be going good too soon. Here's just how it looks like when I'm digging these trenches connecting kind of the pools, so that'll be completed, right there to flow into this one. I had previously thought, I might have it go, I was thinking it was going to go that way. That was added later, but I had added this one first, but I'm actually going to remove that ridge and just move the soil over to probably connect these two and add it on that one a little bit, and then these two will connect and hopefully flow into each other, so that'll be nifty. This was the mulberry that had died. I dug it back to the ground level just to see, and kind of roughly broke it off to see if it was living. I can't tell, so I think that I don't want to bother with it dying back this year. I don't want really chance of it happening again, so I think I'm just gonna refill this mound above it. If it happens to grow back, I'm gonna plant around the outside edges with some crops soon, so I don't really just want to leave it like this and wait and nothing happens. So that part may be living right there, so anyways, it'll be kind of close to the soil level that will be living hopefully. So if it wants to regrow back, I'll give it 1 more year just to see, but I don't want to really mess around with it if it's going to die back every year, and then really struggle to come back. The one we looked at over here just a second ago, that one, it died back, but it's coming back really strong from the roots, so I can deal with that and hopefully it'll hardy up this year with it being bigger. This apple tree is looking healthy. This mound around it is kind of pretty new, so it's still probably adjusting. It's looking really good though. Got about 2 inches of growth right there so far, and it just budded out, I think, and the top is looking good too. As I was walking by right here, a little frog just jumped. You can see the water moving. He hopped right in on that end there. So that happens a lot, so glad to see they're enjoying it here too. This has been summer planted out with some summer crops. I think I planted them kind of along this section so I could add soil right here on these that haven't been done yet. Looking good. Got some new growth on the tip there. It's looking healthy. Starting to just come out at the tip. That looks good too. Good to see. This is the bigger mulberry tree, and there are some good mulberries in there. You can see a little one right there. And there's one hanging down. Let me see if I can get a better view. There's one hanging down from that branch right up there, and there's one right over there too, hiding behind that leaf. But most of the new shoots have about 2 or 3 on each one, so that is exciting. Hopefully the birds and animals will let me get a few. And these are all new branches right here, just growing really since last week. Actually, they hadn't. It was just starting, and all of these branches are like 3 inches long already, maybe 4, and got mulberries on them everywhere. So that is really good to see. So hopefully this tree is just gonna get huge this year and have tons of mulberries, hopefully. This apple tree's looking really good. Got lots of growth coming out. It just looks like a hairy tree. It's kind of got a little bit of growth everywhere. The top's coming up. Got about 2 inches, looks like new growth, so that's looking really good. This apple tree is just starting to leaf out. Got some growth on the tips that looks good. Starting to put some good shoots on right here, and the top's starting to come out, so that's really good to see. Honey locust, thornless honey locust is doing good. Looking all tropical and everything over here. It's put on about 5, maybe 6 inches of new growth already this year. That might just be in the last week or two probably, so it looks like it's really enjoying being up on the mound. The mound's been planted with the summer crops, so that hopefully they'll just help to increase the soil fertility there also. Grapes are looking good in this section. You can see some good leaves starting to come out. Back there. Looking really good so far. Some good leaves on that one and that one. And the willow is looking really good also. Looks like all of them are putting on leaves pretty much, so that's really good to see. You can see it is a very polyculture bed. Lots of different stuff growing in here, just whatever is growing. As long as it's not interfering with the growth of the cuttings, then it can stay. But if it gets a little too tall, just prune it back and do like a selective chop and drop. I'm not just gonna cut everything, pick those things that would be an issue. But have these kind of cool flowering things in here, so I hadn't looked up a lot of this stuff yet, and that is on my list to do. But lots of good stuff growing, and hopefully that'll help create some good healthy soil in here. Willows are continuing to do really good. The shoots look really good and healthy, and thankfully the deer have stayed off them too, which is very nice. And you can see some of the effects kind of the wind we've had. I think this tree was supposed to be in the middle of this, but I think the wind moved that section around all the way over, but nothing that can't be pretty easily fixed. Looks really good and healthy. Got some good growth coming out. Like I said, this one kind of looks like more of the weeping type. Even the tips kind of weighing over. That's really cool though. Nice to have different types in here. Here was the wild mulberry. It started leafing out. Got about 3 inches or so of growth so far on the top, so that's really good to see. Hopefully it will we'll have some yummy mulberries. That would be a really nice surprise. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's videos, guys, and thanks for watching, and I will see you soon in next week's video. Hope y'all are growing lots of great stuff, and I will hopefully see you guys soon. Bye, guys.